The last 2 or 3 years, I have accomplished a lot in real estate investing. So what they are doing, they are just giving you the future value of your money. They are adding up the inflation. I thought 13,000 is super expensive. It is just like, that's like beside what I make, like almost like 10 times of the money.
Greetings, wealth builders. Welcome to Get Diversified, your go-to podcast for all things real estate investments.
I'm Jacqueline.
Melvin Landry. We're thrilled to embark on this wealth building journey with you.
Imagine this. What if your investments not only secure your future, but also unlock a life of financial freedom? That's what we're diving into on this show. Apartment buildings, storage facilities, mobile home parks, the whole shebang.
But here's the kicker. It's not just about investing. It's about crafting a legacy, building memories with your loved ones, and seizing every moment. Time is the currency of life. And let's be real, none of us wants to waste.
We've got the insights, experience, and dash of excitement to spice up your investing game. Plus, we'll throw in some real-life stories that'll make you see the potential in every brick and mortar.
Subscribe, buckle up, and get ready to turn your investments into the ticket to financial freedom. Together, we're not just building wealth, we're building the community of savvy investors. Let's get diversified.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Diversified. I'm your host, Jacqueline Landry. My other half is doing other things at this point, but I am here with a wonderful guest. His name is Georges Hanna. George, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Very happy to be here.
So I want to get right into this. I want to tell you a little bit about George, and I'm going to read right here from my card because I want to make sure that I catch everything that we need to properly introduce him. So George argues that growing a business and investing in real estate are the only fail-safe way for people to expand their wealth and their financial freedom. The business coach who helped Investors Magnet Challenge to help people raise capital and attract investors for business growth and real estate investing. Believes people who put their energy to grow a successful business and invest their excess cash in real estate, they cannot lose with these two important things, inflation or turmoil. So I hope that was good. George, is there anything else you want to add to that introduction? Maybe tell everybody a little bit about where you live and anything that I may have missed in the intro.
So I live on the East Coast in beautiful Halifax in Canada, where the real estate is booming right now. And we see like the booming in real estate in the last 10 years so far. So the city is growing as if like every single city in on the East Coast in Canada and also in the US, you see like that growth due to sometimes people are moving from one place to another, retirement, and also like the additional immigration that we get. So the city is growing, and this is where I do my investment. But my story didn't start 10 years ago. It just like started a few years ago, even though I started to learn about real estate almost like 10 or 15 years through friends. But the problem is I started to learn about real estate from people who are doing it, but they were not able to explain it in details. And for me, if I don't understand like all the in and outs, kind of like perfections at some point, like I cannot do it myself. Until I started to invest in myself, I started to invest in a course, and then with a mentorship, and that took me to understand real estate in depth. So I started to do my investment like 2-3 years ago, but I say like there is no time like wasted. Even though like if I have started like 15 years ago, I would be at a different position. But because of the hunger, sometimes you may accomplish in 2 or 3 years more than when you have accomplished in an extended period of time. So no regret. And in the last 2 or 3 years, I have accomplished a lot in real estate investing, and here we go. Now I help business owners to like basically to make more cash in their business and take that excess of cash and put it in real estate investing.
Fantastic. Yeah, there's no time like the present.
No.
My husband and I always say, oh, if we only knew what we knew 10 years ago. But there's something about being a little bit older and being wiser, being able to absorb all that information that you're receiving that will make you just better. So let's jump right into this. Why do you believe real estate is the wisest investment that you can make?
basically real estate, because I help business owners on starting and growing their business and also scaling their business. It is like, if you look at a business, it is hard to scale the business more than two things. The IP or the intellectual property of that business, and also like the sales that business will do. More than that, you cannot identify, or you cannot help a business to build equity unless they are creating a franchise and they start to acquire places, like exactly like McDonald's. So for instance, like McDonald's, they are not in the burger business, but they are in the real estate business. What they do, they acquire places, and now their core business is by renting out that place and renting out the operation. So not every single business owners, they have like that like that thing in them to understand how they can grow the business. So growing a business, it goes mostly just like by creating or by growing your sales. So, and this is what it took me to learn like how the real estate investing works, to help myself and the business owners to grow their wealth beyond the business that they have. So 5 things why the real estate is the wisest, because now we can write off like taxes and inflation. So if you invest in like retirement accounts or stock market, usually most people, they don't do the investment themselves. They do it with an intermediary, like a bank or financial institution. So usually they give you, or they promise you with 15% return. This is on like if you go aggressive on those kind of investment. But we know like the average that you get throughout like 10 or 20 years is around like 6%. It's not because of the fluctuation. And the most important, when you invest in those pension and stock, like the inflation is not calculated. So now, for instance, the inflation, we have it at 5 or 6%. So if the like average that you do on the pension plan is 5%, 6%, so basically you are making zero. So, and most people I know, like they are making even negative. So what they do, like those pension and those financial institutions, they take your money, and let's say they take 20K of your money, and they promise you to pay 30K in 20 years. So what they are doing, they are just giving you the future value of your money. They are adding up the inflation. There's no profit for you as the investment or the investor. So I started to realize why I need to give my money to those institutions if I can put that money somewhere else. And what blew my mind, that those institutions, when they took their money, when they take your money, what they do is they invest it in real estate. So basically, why I need to have them as intermediaries if I can do that myself. And that took me to learn it, and now I have business owners to do it. So taxes and inflation, one.
Yeah, and let me interrupt you there for a second. So I would probably argue, while the media says 5 or 6% inflation, I'd argue to say
way up.
It's 10%, 9 to 10%, and maybe even a little bit higher depending on what you're doing. So really, you're not growing your money at all. You're actually losing money by putting it in the stock market or just leaving it in a bank account. And the taxes piece that you talked about, that's the number one reason that we passively and actively invest in syndications, is when we love those tax benefits. So our goal is to never pay taxes legally. And I want to say that legally, right? Because there are some people out here in the real estate world that don't do things legal, but legally, and not be able to pay taxes. And that's so powerful for people to understand.
Correct.
And recently, I'm listening to these ads about the presidential election that's coming up, and it's saying, the wealthy needs to pay more taxes. Well, no, everybody else needs to understand the tax code so that they don't have to pay taxes either.
Correct.
So anyways, that's just top of my mind. I heard
and that's a very important point, because most people, they don't understand how the government itself works. The government will not do the work. They need the private sector. They need business people to do things. So business people who do accommodation, who do the essential services or the essential products like grocery store, essential services like power and those kind of businesses, you get tax write-off because you partner with the government to help the government provide those kind of services to the public. So the president of the United States is not going to come and build houses, is not going to build grocery stores. The government will not do that. They give those incentives for the 1% who are aware of how the tax code works and how money works and how the government works and how to partner with the government. Those are the people who win at the end. So basically, those laws and those opportunities are available for everybody, but less than 1%, they try to, at least to educate themselves how it works, so they become aware and they become, they know how to grasp those opportunities versus the 99%. They are just like sitting and waiting for things to happen.
Yes, and we're part of that 1%.
Absolutely. So this is, and everybody like who's listening to us, they have to like, just ask yourself, like, what those people are doing. What is available for those people is available for everybody. So the tax code is not only for me, it's not only for you, it's for everybody. Exactly. But I always ask people, like, how many times do you call like the tax, like CRA in Canada or IRS in the States? Like, how many times do you communicate with those people? I always call them almost every single week to see like how I can save, what I can do. And literally, they help you. They say, like, you can do this, you can do that. Like, exactly, they can redirect you. Most people, they don't even pick up the phone once a year to talk to those people.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go on to your second point, because we only got past one point. That was a good conversation.
But definitely, like the second one is the market change. So usually when the market change in real estate, if you take the real estate growth per year, like it's about like 3%. Now it is like way higher because we have like hot market, we have a lot of movement. So sometimes you see it like 10%, 15%. But on average, if you take like 20 years or 30 years, the growth in real estate, it goes around like 3% or 4% growth per year. Whereas like in business, like any other business industry, like any market turmoil or any crash could affect like the whole industry. So the market change is stronger in real estate versus any other industry, and this is one of the things that people they take the excess of cash they have, or they work to have like this extra cash to put it as a safe play for any change in any market they are in. So this is the second one. The third one, and I get it a lot from business owners I work with. They say, I am tired of doing what I'm doing. So for instance, I have a friend as massage therapist, and say like, George, he's like one of the top, like they call him to go on the Olympics. So he's one of the top massage therapists in the industry. And he said, like, George, after 20 years, I'm super tired of doing the same. And this is the question I ask everybody. So pizza store, I say, like, do you want to make pizza in the next 30 years? And most people, they say no. But they have no other opportunity to see like what they can do, so they can take themselves out of that rabbit hamster
rat
wheel
race
that happens. Yeah. So that is one of the things that while you are working in your business, you have restaurant, you have massage therapy, you have dentistry, whatever the business you have to think about like what is next. And the most important that help you to do anything next for you, anything that really is related to your passion, is to invest in real estate. So you can start to have that passive income. So that passive income at least will cover your direct income from your business, from your job. Yep. So you can do whatever you want. You want to travel, you want to do any passion that's that you need to translate it into a business or a hobby, whatever you want to do, like you can do it this way.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that. So we have a son that's 9 years old, and he wants to be a pilot. And it started when he was 1, now it's 9. And he's more and more obsessed with being a pilot. And I told him, I said, hey, look, he knows what mom and dad does, right? With investing in real estate. And I said, if you have that track as well as your track to being a pilot, then you don't have to be a slave to your
Correct.
profession, right?
Correct.
You can work 30 days a month, or you can work 2 days a month, or
Correct.
you can work no days a month and decide to take it off. I said,
Correct.
but having that other track of income, such as real estate investing, it really opens your opportunities to do what you want and not be a slave to your career.
Exactly, and this is the same thinking for our little. I have two little ones, and basically this is exactly as I. If they decide to do a business or to have a job, they are not under like big stress. Like I have just to make it just for money. I go enjoy what I'm doing. So regardless of what they're going to do in their future, now they have like this safeguard, the kind of like backup for whatever happens. Like they can do it just like because they are passionate about it. It's
Yep.
not like they are enslaved to do it.
Yeah. And then just another point to that, he says he wants to own a jet. And I said, well,
Yeah,
how do you think that you're going to save $15 million? I said, some people don't even make that with their salaries and their current profession. He was like, oh, yeah,
that's impossible.
that's a
Yes.
good point. So I'm just trying to plant the seeds in this little 9-year-old brain,
Yeah.
right? To be like, there has to be something else, a way for you to grow
Correct.
your money and grow it smarter than receiving a salary on a
The
monthly or whatever, yearly basis.
I love that. It's like we click on the same thinking. My daughter sometimes say, I want to be a doctor, and I tell my wife why she says that. Like, just tell her, like, yeah, you can be a doctor, but how about you own a hospital? So, so, so
Yep.
when you invest in real estate, you start to have like this kind of thinking. It is personal development. I see real estate. It's more the personal development beside the real estate development that you do. When you are growing your portfolio, you learn so much, like lots of shifting that happens in our perspective and our mindset, that we start to see the world in a different way,
Yeah, absolutely. All
which
right.
is
What's
amazing.
what's your last point on why
Oh,
you think real estate
and
investment
the
is so
last one
great?
is the like what we are talking about is the actual legacy.
Yeah.
So the only way, like there is no cap how much you can grow your portfolio in real estate. You can go to millions, you can go to billions. So there is no cap. And owning for your son, owning a private jet, that becomes easier for him to move between states. So he can start expanding the portfolio that you already build up for him. So the legacy that you're going to leave to your kids and to my kids and every single one to their own kids. This is the biggest thing
Yeah.
that we can, when we leave this planet at some point in our life, we are leaving something of big value, not only for them, but also like for the community. Because when you build real estate, you are not just building buildings, you are helping to create communities, you are helping people to get served at the highest level. So lots of impact and lots of legacy that they can leave for your family and also for the community that you are in.
Yeah, I love that. So what we do here in our local market is we buy in C-class areas. So for those listeners or viewers that are looking at this podcast, a C-class area, you have A-class, which is the best areas, B, and then C, and they even have D-class areas. So we buy in C-class areas, and our motto is that although we buy in a C-class area, we like to give our tenants an A+ experience.
Correct.
So that means being a landlord that's attentive, being a landlord that listens, being a landlord that fixes things, being a landlord that's helping to improve the community. So I'm right on with you about the impacts it makes above and beyond financial
Right.
wealth, but the imprint that it leaves on the community, after we leave this earth, for sure.
And then this is the best. Like back in the days, someone opened up my eyes. Exactly, they do investment in Halifax where I'm at, and we call it the C class. We call it like affordable housing, like in the multifamily. So because they understand their audience very well, they know that people on the affordable housing, they cannot afford to pay for the extra benefit, like to go to a dentist, to go to a like eye doctor. So what they start to give their tenants, they start to give their tenants dental benefit. So if you rent out from them, you start to get dental benefits. So your dental will be covered by a special insurance. So what
Yeah.
they are doing right now, they are helping their tenants to have this extra benefit, but also they are helping themselves to solve the biggest nightmare. And like in Canada, in some provinces, you cannot evacuate someone before 6 or 8 months if something happens. So basically, they are also solving the big problem of the landlord, which is like the tenant will pay on time or they don't pay. So now the dental benefit will not be activated unless you pay on time. So people just pay on time just to keep that benefit going. So it's mutual benefit for both. It's win-win situation.
Wow, that's fantastic. All right, let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
What do people need to know when it comes to attracting investors for business growth as well as real estate investing?
So to attract investors, like the way I do it, and I help my clients to do it. So it's not enough to find the good deal, and I want to find the investors right now that we call like OPM, the other people money. So I call those the 4 OPs: the OPM, the OPS, the OPA, and the OPR. So what are those? For the OPM, the other people money, which is like you go and find investors to put their money in your deal. You need the other 2 also, or the other 3 to work. So the OPS is how the other people's skills. So how I'm going to build the right team for me to leverage my portfolio, to leverage that connection, that communication. Because what I learned in business, that you cannot do everything yourself. There is no business, there is no company that we know that they are successful, they did everything by themselves. So always they leverage the other people's skills, they build that team, and all together they start to build the portfolio or the business that they are building. The third one is the OPA, the other people audience. So the other people audience also, you should not do like things by yourself. So what I do when it comes to real estate, finding the investors, I go to big companies like legal firms. So for instance, one of the legal firms in the region where I live, they have more than 500 lawyers. So when I go there, I explain to them how it works. We do a workshop. We do like some training for them at least to understand how real estate works. And from those 500s, we got like tens of lawyers who are interested to invest. So basically, finding the investors are not difficult. It's just you need to tap on other people skills and audience. So you start to leverage what other people are doing, because there is a huge need for people to understand, in every single profession, to understand, right, how I'm going to retire, how I'm going to save my money, how I'm going to, like, they know there's something not working for them, but they don't know what to do it.
Yep.
Or
exactly.
what to do about it, or how to do it. So basically, this is where our job comes into play. And that the fourth one is the OPR, the other people resources. So basically, you don't have to have all kind of resources. So what I do in real estate investing, I connect projects with investors, and I help investors to find their deals. So basically, I don't have to build the building myself. I don't have to do the property management myself. So I start to tap on the other people resources, and this is where the joint venture happens, syndication, or it depends on the legal entity that we create. So we tap on different resources. We bring those resources together. So leveraging the skills together to make the other people money works at some point, especially when they put it in real estate investing.
Exactly. Definitely, teams are so critical, as you know, to anything in real estate, for being multifamily, self-storage, mobile home parks, triple net, whatever you're getting into. Building that right team with the right skills is just critical to making the project either a success or not, right? I was going to say, or a failure. I always ask people, if they, want to join the team, what are you good at? If you're good at the same thing that I'm good at, probably not a good fit. So that's just critical to having, the right skills and resources on a team, and just people that are, good at and like, doing different things, right? And having a well-rounded team. That's what makes those GP teams the A team, right? instead of the C team that barely, return investors' money versus ones that double or triple investors' equity at the end when they sell or refinance. Wow. All right, let's do one more. How can business owners get started?
So, but basically, like two things I always, and this is what I discovered through myself: invest in the right knowledge. Because in some of my training, I ask people, is knowledge power? And everybody's raised their hand. They say yes, knowledge is power. And then the second question becomes, what if you have the wrong knowledge? And people start to question, yes, and I said, mostly we have the wrong knowledge. So basically, you have to go to someone who's doing it, one, to get the right knowledge, so you know what kind of action that you need to basically to take. So I advise everybody to go invest a little bit in the right knowledge, like invest in yourself always when it comes to real estate, and get a mentor or a coach who done what you want to do, and they will help you. The job of the coach is to accelerate the knowledge, the right knowledge that you are acquiring, because you can acquire the right knowledge and it takes you forever to apply it. Because you don't have the skills yet.
Right.
So the coach will help you accelerate that time to your success, to your goal, to achieve what you want to achieve way faster than doing it by yourself. And this is why doing business and real estate, don't do it by yourself. Always do it with the people that you can leverage their skills, their resources, what they have, and also they can leverage the money maybe that you have. So bring that together. So this is the best way to start in real estate. Invest in the right knowledge, I love it. And invest in the right coaching.
Yeah, I love that. When we first started in the multifamily space, we joined a mentorship program. And, while it was quite expensive, I look back to what benefits it actually provided me. I was in the right room with people that were doing big things, right, and had all the knowledge that I didn't have. So my learning curve, instead of going like this to some people, were really very steep because I was in the right room, right knowledge, right experience, yes, right resources. So when I look at it, it was worth it.
Yeah, 100%. I invested $13,000 in my first course. And it was for me super expensive. I said $13,000, how am I going to make that? And from my first property, after a few months, I made $150K.
Yeah.
So
amen to that.
And I say geez, how money works. I thought that 13,000 is super expensive. It is just peanuts, beside what I make, almost 10 times of the money.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself, right, George?
No,
yep.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So how can our viewers find you if they want to connect and talk more with you about, what you do?
So you can find me on social media and YouTube at this handle, at Coach Georges Hanna. So Coach and my name, Georges with an S, Hanna. So you can find me on social media and YouTube with that. And also you can find me with the investors challenge that I do on monthly basis. It's called investormagnetchallenge.com, investorsmagnetchallenge.com.
Fantastic. Well, George, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that we can work together at some point in the future.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Fantastic.
Jacqueline and Melvin, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to this episode of Get Diversified. Please make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes. Finally, stop by our website and follow us on social media. Ciao for now. Make it a great day, and we'll see you next time. And remember, get diversified.